On a quiet morning street, a young cleaner girl walked home after finishing her long shift. Her clothes were worn, her hands rough from endless scrubbing, but her spirit unbroken. Suddenly, a luxury SUV sped past, splashing mud all over. Her uniform. Inside, a wealthy woman laughed, mocking her misery. To the cleaner, it felt like yet another reminder of her place in society, small, invisible, undeserving of dignity. But what she didn't know was that someone else had seen everything. Someone who had the power to change her life forever. And the rich lady's cruel laugh was about to cost her more than she could ever imagine. The cleaner girl's name was Amina. She came from a small town where opportunities were scarce, yet she dreamed of building a better life for herself and her family. Each day she worked tirelessly, cleaning offices and homes in the city. She endured long hours, ignored insults, and often went hungry just so she could send a little money back home. Her path often crossed with the wealthy, elite, people who barely acknowledged her existence. They passed her on the sidewalks, sometimes dropping trash at her feet as if daring her to pick it up. Still, Amina endured. She believed that hard work and patience would eventually open doors for her. That morning, as she finished scrubbing the floor of a cafe, she walked back carrying her small bag and the little food she had saved. The road was wet from the night's rain, lined with tall trees and the distant hum of traffic. She walked slowly, careful not to slip in the mud. That was when the white SUV appeared. Shiny, spotless, a symbol of luxury. Inside was a wealthy woman, perfectly dressed, wearing sunglasses despite the gray sky. She didn't slow down. Instead, she swerved closer to the curb, intentionally driving through a muddy puddle. Amina didn't even have time to step aside. Within seconds, her uniform, her arms, her face, everything was covered in thick brown splashes. The rich lady laughed as if it were entertainment. To her, Amina was just another invisible worker, someone whose dignity didn't matter. She drove away, leaving behind the sound of her laughter echoing in the cold morning air. Amina stood frozen, humiliated, but just a few feet away. Hidden behind the trees, a pair of eyes had witnessed it all. That witness was not just any passerby. He was a man of influence, known in the community for his quiet power. A retired judge named Mr. Carter. Though older now, he had spent his life fighting for fairness and justice. His eyes had seen too much injustice to ignore this one. Mr. Carter had been on his morning walk, cane in hand, when the incident unfolded. He saw the smirk on the rich lady's face, the despair in Amina's eyes, and something deep inside him stirred, a reminder of why he had once dedicated his life to justice. Meanwhile, Amina tried to wipe the mud off her clothes, trembling not from the cold but from the sting of humiliation. For her, this wasn't just mud. It was society's way of reminding her she was lesser, unworthy, disposable. She wanted to cry, but she forced herself to keep walking, holding back the tears. Mr. Carter followed her quietly, not wanting to frighten her. He noticed how carefully she carried herself despite being covered in dirt. He saw the pain on her face, but also the quiet strength in the way she kept moving forward. The rich lady, on the other hand, thought nothing of it. To her, splashing the cleaner was a small amusement. She had no idea that her little act of cruelty was about to unravel her perfect world. Later that day, Amina reached the apartment she shared with two other workers. They looked at her with pity, offering her water to clean herself. She tried to brush it off, saying she was used to such things. But deep down, every humiliation left scars no one could see. That evening, Mr. Carter made some calls. He discovered who the rich lady was. Her name was Veronica, a woman who flaunted her wealth and influence, often mistreating those beneath her. But what she didn't know was that Carter had connections not even money could buy. A few days, Later, an event was held in the city. A charity gala attended by business elites, government officials, and influential leaders. Veronica, of course, was there, dressed in diamonds, smiling for photographs, pretending to care about helping the poor. But among the guests, unnoticed at first, was Amina, invited personally by Mr. Carter. She looked nervous, wearing a simple but clean dress he had arranged for her. She didn't know why she had been brought there, but her presence alone was about to change everything. As the gala went on, Veronica mingled proudly. She boasted about her charity work, her donations, her commitment to uplifting the less fortunate. Cameras flashed as she shook hands and smiled for the press. To everyone watching, she was the image of generosity. But then Mr. Carter stepped onto the stage. His presence demanded silence. Slowly he began to speak, not about wealth, but about dignity, about how the true measure of a person wasn't in how they treated the powerful, but in how they treated those who had nothing. And then he told the story, not naming names at first. He described how a cleaner, exhausted from work, had been humiliated when a wealthy woman deliberately splashed mud on her. The audience shifted uncomfortably. Some whispered, others frowned. Finally, he gestured toward the crowd, and Amina was brought forward. She stood quietly, her eyes lowered, as Carter revealed that this girl was the one who had endured that cruelty. Gasps filled the room. Cameras turned, and then Carter revealed the name of the woman who had laughed that day, Veronica. The glamorous smile froze on her face. Suddenly, every eye in the room was on her, not with admiration, but with judgment. Her reputation, carefully built on lies and pretense, began to crumble. In that moment, Veronica's laughter from that morning turned into silence. The gala ended with whispers, with cameras capturing every detail of Veronica's downfall. Her sponsors withdrew, her friends distanced themselves, and her carefully polished image shattered overnight. But the story wasn't about her downfall. It was about Amina's rise. For the first time, she was seen. Not as a cleaner, not as invisible, but as a human being worthy of respect. Mr. Carter didn't stop there. He helped Amina secure a stable job, one that valued her work and her dignity. She continued to send money home, but now she did so with pride, not shame. And though life remained hard, she carried with her the memory that justice, even if delayed, could still prevail. As for Veronica, her laughter haunted her. She had thought wealth gave her power, but she learned the hard way that true power lies in how one treats others. And the world never forgot the story of the rich woman who laughed at a cleaner, only to be exposed before everyone. Amina's story became a reminder. To every person overlooked, mistreated, or made to feel invisible, it said, "You matter. Your dignity matters. And one act of cruelty can never erase your worth. Because in the end, the measure of our lives is not how high we rise, but how we lift others when they are low." So the next time you see someone struggling, ask yourself, are you the one splashing mud, or the one helping them wipe it away?